Hey everyone, I'm the Pixel Pathfinder and my goal is to help you find great new indie games to play. In today's video, I wanted to take a break from the demo showcases, let's plays, and Steam Next Fest and give you my top 3 games that I'm most excited for that are still coming out in 2023. That's right, 2023 is not quite over yet. We got a couple months left, and there are actually some really exciting titles that are still going to be coming out here soon. So hopefully I'll showcase some games here that I'm personally really excited about, and maybe you'll find one or two that you get excited about and want to look into as well. What I'd like from you before the end of this video is for you to let me know, out of the games that I showcase here today, which ones are you interested in? Which ones would you like to see content for here on the channel? And maybe what kind of content you'd like to see. So I have 3 honorable mentions before we get into our top 3. Honorable mention number 1 is going to be Last Epoch. So Last Epoch is an ARPG in the style of Diablo or Path of Exile. It's actually been out for quite a few years in early access, and it was a very, very active early access. I've put about 26 to 27 hours into the game so far, enough to know that I really like what it's doing. I like its take on the ARPG genre. It has quite a few interesting ideas, and I'm just a fan of ARPGs in general. So I put some time into the game, enough to kind of figure that out, and then I basically said, well, I know I'm going to like this, so I think I'll just wait. Let it cook and pick it back up once they put out the 1.0 release. That 1.0 release is slated to come out sometime in December of this year, and I'm super excited to be able to check it out once it does come out. All right, honorable mention number 2. Won't spend too much time on this one because I've mentioned it a few times on a couple of different lists, but this is Phantom Rose 2 Sapphire. So I already have a demo showcase video up for this game here on the channel that you could check out if you like to. This one is coming out on October 30th. It's going to be a day one pickup for me. I anticipate getting at least like a weekend's worth of playtime out of this one. I'm not sure if this is a game I'll be playing 6 months from now, but I'm definitely going to play a whole heck of a lot of it for the first couple of weeks after it comes out. I'm really excited to play it. Love the art style. Really enjoyed the first one, and I think this one does a pretty good job of improving on some of the systems from the first one as well. And then my last honorable mention here is going to be Endless Dungeon. So Endless Dungeon is slated to come out very soon on October 19th, and this is a this is a game that is a follow-up to the Dungeon of the Endless series, which was a more pixel-based sort of tower defense game. Endless Dungeon is also a tower defense game, and I'm a big fan of tower defense games that allow you to also participate as some sort of hero character. So I like when you're able to put out traps and things, but then you also play a character who can actively engage the enemy. Things like Dungeon Defenders or Orcs Must Die, those sorts of series. So I'm pretty excited for this one. This one does have an isometric camera perspective, kind of like Diablo or any other ARPG. And I think it's got a lot of potential. It's got co-op, you can play with friends. I don't know if this is going to be a day one pickup for me because the company developing this game is kind of going into not totally uncharted territory, but they are kind of doing some things that are new for them, and I'm interested to see if they do a good job or not. There have been a couple of betas for this game before, but I haven't heard anything really positive or negative about them. They weren't like super huge to my knowledge, so I'm interested to see sort of where this lands. So I might wait a couple of days after the release comes out and check out what some of the initial Steam reviews and stuff are saying before I go all in on this one. But either way, I anticipate this being a game that I do pick up and play just because it does fit right into the genre and type of game that I enjoy. All right, so let's get started with the actual list. In at number 3 is going to be Cities Skylines 2. So Cities Skylines 2 is the sequel to Cities Skylines, which at this point I would basically just say is the city building game to play. I don't have a very long history with city building games. I played the most recent Sim City, which I think was 4. Whichever one was the one that people kind of like hated. I was fine with it. I enjoyed it. It got me into playing city builders a little bit. And even though I picked up Cities Skylines, I never actually got around to playing it because I knew, okay, I'm going to have to invest a couple hours into learning how to play, and then I'm going to build a city, realize, oh, yep, I did that wrong, scrap, oh, do another one, yep, that one's wrong, scrap. And it's the kind of game that you don't just sit down and play 30 minutes, you got to play for a couple of hours, and I just didn't feel like I had the time to dedicate to it, and it spent years and years and years in my library, basically not getting played, and by the time I kind of was like, you know what, I really should. They had announced City Skylines 2, and I was like, well, I'll just wait for the new one. So this is definitely a must-buy for me. I don't know if I'll get it on release date, though, because it is coming out, I believe, October 24th. Yes, October 24th. And so there's just a lot of other stuff going on. We got holidays and other games coming out. And again, this is a big meaty one that you kind of need to sink your teeth into. So I may not actually pick this up until early 2024, but it is still a game coming out that I'm very excited for that is going to be released before the end of this year. So that's City Skylines 2. In at number 2 for me is going to be For the King 2. For the King 2 is coming out on November 2nd. It's the follow-up to For the King, which is a game that I invested over 25 hours into. Now, the thing about me is that if I invest more than 10 hours into something, that's a pretty good indication that it's a fun game because I play a lot of games. And so for me to make it to 10 hours is pretty significant. To go to 20 or 25 or higher than that means I really, really enjoyed that game. So For the King 1 was a fun game. It's a turn-based roguelike RPG where you take a party of heroes out and you explore essentially what's like a hex grid overworld. Kind of similar to if you were playing Civilization or something along those lines, but you're going to encounter different events, treasure chests, dungeons, and you're going to fight battles. And along the way, you're going to take your party, which is composed of all different sorts of classes, and you're going to be able to level up their skills, and then you're also going to be able to equip them with new gear and weapons and things like that. Well, For the King 2 has kind of come along, and it looks like they're just doing more of the same. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, but it does look like they've done some things to upgrade. One of the big ones here is it's on an entirely new engine, so graphically it is quite a few steps above For the King 1. In addition, you're seeing this like grid-based combat system. Before, in For the King 1, you just had 3 party members, and then they were on one side, the enemy was on the other. Now they've created this sort of a frontline, backline grid system for combat, and I think that's going to shake it up and make it pretty interesting. So all in all, this is one of my favorite games, and I'm just excited to see the sequel looking like more of the same, but better. I'm really excited for this one. This is one you can also play co-op with a bunch of friends if you want to. And that is normally how I play. Try to get, my wife to play or a couple of friends to play. And we go out and we all, do a run, get as far as we can, unlock some stuff, and then do it all over again. So super excited for the King 2. This is a day one purchase and play for me. Absolutely. And then the number one game on my list that I kind of anticipate being in at least the top 5, probably the top 3, and it might actually win Game of the Year 2023 for me is Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader. So this is coming out on December 7th. It's being developed by Owlcat Games, and it is a CRPG set in the world of Warhammer 40K. This developing company is the company behind Pathfinder Kingmaker and Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Now, I own Kingmaker, but I have not played it, and I own Wrath of the Righteous, and I've put over 70 hours into the campaign, and the only reason I stopped playing is because I moved to a different state and just had a lot of real life stuff going on, and so it kind of interrupted me mid-campaign, and by the time I was kind of ready to maybe pick it back up and play it again, they had announced this game, and I kind of just said, you know what, I'm going to save all that energy and all that time, and I'm going to put it into Rogue Trader when it comes out, and then after that, if I'm still itching to play some more CRPGs, then I'll go back and revisit Wrath of the Righteous. So this game I am super, super hyped for. I really, like I said, I like Owlcat as a developer. I like the 40K universe conceptually, but it seems like 9 out of 10 games that we get is just Space Marines, Space Marines, Space Marines. And this is not a Space Marines game. This is very much a different style. It's got more of kind of like a Wild West in space vibe to it. And it just looks really interesting. CRPG, typically not my genre of choice. I don't really enjoy a huge involved storyline and lots of reading in the games that I play. Not because I don't like stories or I don't like to read, but just because I kind of JRPG'd myself out on storylines and stuff when I was younger, and now I just kind of want to get in and I want to play the game. But everything that Owlcat has done has been the right fit for me, and I think this is going to be no different. It looks awesome. It looks amazing. I'm just really excited to get in and just look at all the weirdness on screen. It's just, I cannot tell you how excited I am for Rogue Trader. And Rogue Trader will absolutely be a Let's Play game here on the channel. I'm super excited for it. I can't wait. Day one purchase, day one play. And this is absolutely my like holiday game for 2023. I've got some time off in December around Christmas, and I'm going to be going pretty hard playing Warhammer Rogue Trader. So that is my top 3 most anticipated or games that I'm most excited about that are still releasing in 2023. Let me know what you think of the list. I'm the Pixel Pathfinder, and my goal is to help you find great new indie games to play. I hope I've done that here today. If I have, then hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. Share this video with someone that you think is looking for something to play between now and the end of the year, or who just might like my content. And again, let me know in the comment section below which games look interested to you, and which games do you want to see here on the channel, and maybe what types of content do you want to see for those. Either way, as always, I appreciate you taking time to watch one of my videos, and I'll see you on the next one.